Jeremy, so your 2 pre-season weekends, or France, I think you were very impressive, and today you had to fight through the field, it seemed like every race. How do you sum up your 2 different weekends?
I was actually supposed to race in France today.
That's right, yeah.
I came here last minute, so everything was a bit tricky, I wasn't prepared at all to come here, but still I did it just to take it as training, and I took the day slow. Didn't want to push anything crazy because the track was so wet, quite tricky and dangerous, and those jumps scary with those ruts in the
landings. Yeah, they're huge.
Especially that double there in the back. But I just, I knew I haven't done a lot of those kind of stuff because I stayed away from Belgium. I was always out on the good and nice tracks to get my speed with the bike. And last weekend was a good reference on normal conditions, and it went super well, And this weekend, solid riding. I started off slow, didn't push it, and just did my thing. But by the end of the day, I picked up the speed, and in the last moto, we all followed each other. It was quite fun. I was actually impressed that we started after MX2. I messed up my start because I had no idea how they managed with the 2 drops, because they said they put it up and then another 5 seconds, but basically up, down. I wasn't ready, but still impressive how we could go through the field that quick, even past Adamo after 6-7 laps, so overall happy in the end of the day, just to make improvements in these conditions, learn the bike in these conditions, don't do any silly mistakes, ride solid, pick up the speed towards the end with the top cracks in the sand, so I think I sum it up positive.
And how has the adoption been to the Kawasaki overall? What percentage are you fully comfortable? Are you at 80 or 90%, or what's the biggest change then from the Yamaha as well?
It's a full change on engine and chassis. It's like a whole combination. The biggest change, hard to say. In the end, it's still a bike, 2 wheels, and the throttle is on the right side. But it's still a big process just to dial in your setup, your suspension, your engine, your preferences, just to make it work on any track. Some tracks I go, I'm at 100%. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to race. Some tracks I come, I'm like, okay, here we need to work a bit, which is normal, But overall, it's a good bike and it suits me, and I think we have some good racing ahead with it.
And is your setup similar to Fevre? Can you learn anything from that, or are you completely different and you have to learn it all yourself, really?
I think I'm a guy anyway learning it myself, because copying others doesn't really work. I have my own style, and even if sure, I know what he's running, and I don't think it really works for me on some things. Maybe some things work, but most of the things I'm quite different, Like Romain has a different riding style than me, so you can't really compare that at all.
Renan Gear, big move for you there, really, especially in Europe. You're the sort of guy for them now. How did that come about, and do you like sort of leading things that way, a new fashion trend potentially?
I've always been a guy, I want to be on point, and it's like sometimes sad to see out there having a factory bike, being a top athlete, riding for the World Championship podium or wins, and then you show up with something like, hey, come on, you look like a clown, So I'm like, hey, I gotta look decent, and I think Renan is the choice, and I'm really proud and happy to be representing them in Europe, and he's the first guy to really bring it over here, and I think they have a plan to sell some stuff over here, and step by step we get there, but I think it's cool, and it's something new, I think the industry needed something new, all the other stuff it's been there for a while.
And there were the guys behind Fox originally with Ricky Johnson and all. They're pretty genius in terms of marketing and new things, so it's probably quite exciting to be involved with them on that level as well.
Yeah, sure. It's nice to see, what they do. For now, they kept it a bit behind the scenes, low level, a bit secret, but I think in the right moment they will really drop it and go for it. So let's see how that goes, but I'm proud to be part of it for sure.
So the start of the GP seasons, each year I always feel you could be a world title contender, especially the last 2, but the start has never went ideally, especially last year. How important is it for you now to get through healthy the first couple of rounds with solid results, and then come into your own then as the season progresses to be a world title contender this year?
Yeah, for sure I'd like to be a title contender, but this year is a little different. I changed the bike, so I'm more focused on figuring that part out, on really dialing the bike in, on on feeling good on it. But I think I'm quite ready to even fight for wins and podiums, you know. So yeah, sure, last 2 years the beginning of the season kind of destroyed me, but this year it's different, and I think I'm not going to do the same mistake again, you know.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jeremy, and well done today. Pretty good day, 5th steady in the first one, and then 2 wins, and maybe more importantly 2 hole shots. Well, how do you sum it up?
Yeah, actually it's the most surprising thing for me was the 2 hole shots I did. You know, I haven't taken a hole shot for such a long time, so I was really happy with that. I mean, the work we did together with the Red Bull KTM race team is really good. So we managed to get better on our weakest point, which was the start. So I mean, for today was good. Hopefully we can do the same in GPs. But coming back to the day, the warm-up started off really slow. I was 5th or 6th. I was 3 seconds off, so that wasn't really looking good for starting the day. Then Moto 1 took a good start. Basically been a 4th all Moto, finished 4th. I was a bit off. And a second Moto hole shot led all Moto, and same basically for the super final. Obviously we had to pass the 250 guys, but basically led the entire Moto with the 450. So no, I'm super happy with my day, and I know I'm kind of a diesel, so I know I should get better throughout the season and I do some more races, because I haven't raced for a pretty long time. So no, I think the start off is pretty good.
You had a lot of pressure from Glenn, both Motos and Roman.
Glenn were really good.
And no mistakes from you either, so good test for you for your first race back in a few months.
Yeah, I just didn't take risks, just did my own pace, and if I felt comfortable. I hear Glenn coming sometimes left, right, so I was slightly went over a bit, but I kept it safe. I would never cross rod jump or anything like this, but like, yeah, you know, Glenn was really good. Glenn is always good. He was good last year. Always when I race him here, for some reason he's always very good. So yeah, he rode good.
Last year you rode really smart, and it still didn't work out for you. Still ended up injured.
Yeah.
It feels like there's the old Jeffrey on one shoulder, the new smart Jeffrey on the other. What Jeffrey will we see this year?
A mix of both. I mean, yeah, last year just was very unfortunate from the crash, but it's part of racing. I mean, yeah, it's a scary sport at times, and injuries are just around the corner. So you know, when you're doing the sport, you know it can happen. And even though I tried to ride as smart as I could last year and try to make take the minimum risks, I still got hurt. So yeah, you know, you have to be a bit lucky as well.
When you really needed the speed last year, you were able to show it again. Do you still feel you have that fastest man on the planet under the hood when you need it?
At least one thing is for sure, I'm happy I don't need to race Jet Lawrence. I don't think I can match his speed. I'm just open and honestly, like, I don't think I can match his speed anymore. I think on my good days, like 2018, maybe I could have. But for me, he's the fastest guy around, like Supercross and outdoors. Like, you get all those Instagram words, and Jet versus Herlings. Nah, I think he's faster right now. So, but one day we have to race each other. I even talked to him on Instagram at some point last year, and I just said, mate, I got massive respect for you. Like, at your age, to be so smart and to be so good, it's really impressive. And but I think, you know, when I want to become world champion, I don't need to race Jet Lawrence. So that's my luck. And yeah, I think we can still win the championship, but everything needs to go good. It's a very difficult test, but I do my best to reach it, and if not, the most important for me is just to help.
And is the pressure of being the winningest GP rider ever, does that a weight off your shoulders that you have now a legacy behind you probably forever, because you're going to win more and more, I presume?
At least I'm going to try to win more, but the thing is that the 10 championships, they're done. I know I'll never get to the 10 championship, because I might retire in 2 or 3 or 4 years from now. So I don't even think I'll race 5 more years. So imagine 5 championships in a row would never happen. So no, I'm happy that pressure's on my shoulders, and now I can just enjoy the sport. And yeah, you know, I'm in my second part of my career, and I'm already actually going to the last part, to be honest. So yeah, we just have a few more years left in the tank, so we just try to make the best of it.
So Jet said last year he wants to race you and Eli. He's raced Eli now. You're the last one probably on his list.
Yeah.
Can you promise you'll both be there at Des Nations at the end of the season?
At least he beat Eli in many occasions, but still Eli on a good day he can still be really fast. But
last night he
last night I think he crashed and he came from almost dead last a second, so he's on a good day, he's super fast. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Right now I got nothing for him, but maybe if the year continues and I get a bit faster, and we'll see. But like I said, I'm happy I don't need to race the guy right now.
And just thoughts on Jorge Prado racing Supercross. What did you think how he did? And you'll definitely never do that.
Yeah, he just played it safe. I think that's very smart. He played it safe, and he should have done that. I mean, he had just a big championship to lose in Europe. I mean, if he could get hurt there, then to win a championship in Europe would have been game over. So he did smart. obviously his results weren't that great. Somewhere around 10th average.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he won a heat race, but he hasn't, like in the main events, he was always like, okay, he maybe did like a 6 or a 7, but the average was around 10. So I think result-wise wasn't that great, but hey, it's a complete different discipline of sport, and if I would do it, or I guess Favre or whoever, we wouldn't do any better, I guess.
Yeah.
So from where he comes from, with like 6 weeks of prep, I think he did pretty decent, and I think if he wants to go on 2025 and he can, you know, have the time to grow throughout the year, I think he can be good. I don't think he's capable of beating Jet or guys like that in his first year, but that's just my personal opinion. We'll see. I mean, he's super talented, and for me, after Jet, he's the second talented guy riding right now.
Right.
So you can see he's really good.
And finally, have you made any changes to the bike this year? Because a lot of people were talking about the frame last year. The Americans are riding a new frame this year. What have you done from last year to 24 bike-wise?
We haven't done that much, honestly. No, actually, I haven't done much. Yeah, I can talk a lot, but actually we haven't really done much. So we did some things on suspension and stuff like that, and some engine parts, but nothing like big makeover or anything. Just some small adjustments, and I think they're positive.
And shoulders, collarbones, everything healthy this year going into Argentina?
Yeah, it's titanium plate on there, so I need to break both to get that thing broken again.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Jeffrey. Thanks for the time.
Off your first race with your new team, the Fantic.
Second race.
Second race? Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, it was Rowan that didn't show up there. Okay, well yeah, second race on the Fantic. Hawkstone, you're very good here. Very good day. You must be happy with your speed and battling for wins there with Jeffrey.
Yeah, sure. No, it was a good day. Only in first moto I didn't feel that good. Starts were a bit off. I made some mistakes myself, but the riding was good. I feel good with the bike. The team did a big effort past winter, and they provide me with an awesome bike. You know, it's a lot of hard work, but it's good to see that it's paying off, and I feel comfy on it. Bike is working great, and we had a great day here again. I mean, took the overall with 2-2, but and the last moto also second. Been fighting for the win, both last motos. And it was some good fighting, but wasn't able to pass. Just wasn't close enough at a few stages, but it was all right. It was good.
And for an international, I mean, the speed out there was really quick. I thought the top 10 was very fast. Did it feel really quick out there? And
yeah.
How close were you to your top?
Yeah, we were pushing quite a bit. I mean, the track was really gnarly today, and Jeffrey and me, we were pushing hard, and you know, made a few mistakes here and there, but in the end kept it on two wheels, and it was a nice day. I think also for the fans, you know, it was very crowded here, and it's always good coming here in Hawkstone.
And battling with Jeffrey, it was Dutch 1-2. If the Dutch crowd were here, they would have loved that, but it must have been good to battle him, and you were really pushing there to try and pass him, which I like to see, because I think sometimes you need to be a little bit more aggressive, so it was nice to see you ride like that, I thought.
Yeah, no, I hear that more often, that I should be more aggressive, but that also comes with feeling, and I believe we have the bike working great now, suspension is good, and you know, then you are able to be more aggressive, and you know, you can be more creative and stuff, and like I say, you know, I believe I'm in a good spot now, and we'll see in 2 weeks time is Argentina. It's good that it will start, and I feel like I'm ready for it, so we'll see.
And obviously Wilvo are still running the team, so not that much has changed, but it's a Fantic instead of a Yamaha. Just how much different is the bike, and has much changed? I think you're working with Paul Conway as a mechanic now as well,
yeah.
Is that right? What's
yeah.
it like working with him as well, fellow Northern Irish?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I've got two new mechanics this year, and you know, we knew already each other for quite a while because they were in the team as well the past 3 years, and for me, you know, it is no big change, let's say, to stay with the same team, only the bike brand change, and but to be honest, it's quite similar. There are a few things different, but yeah, you know, it's feeling good, and I'm happy with all the people I'm working with, and yeah, really good.
And what's it like having a younger teammate in Ron van de Moosdijk, another Dutchie? Obviously he's going to be a rookie, so
yeah.
he's probably looked up to you throughout his career, and you can help guide him hopefully to become the next Dutch talent in MXGP.
Yeah, no, it's good to have him. You know, he's doing very well on training. It's a bit sad that, you know, he twisted his knee here today, and hope it's not too bad and he can make the travel to Argentina, because it's good to have him around. You know, we have a good relationship. He's a good guy, and it would be good to have him there in Argentina. So I hope for him all the best, and that he's back soon.
And does it feel nice to be the main rider in a team again? Obviously, not that you weren't the main guy, but you were one of the main guys at Yamaha the last few years. Does it feel good to have that responsibility again of being the number one guy?
I don't feel it that way. I mean, we get treated all the same.
Yeah.
Also, the past 3 years when I was in Yamaha,
that's good.
And so we never felt like there's a first rider or a second. You know, they're working as hard for me as they do for the others, and it's same now with Rowan. You know, it's we don't have first and second rider. Okay, maybe on paper-wise I should be in front, but like I said, he's been riding really well, and I think if he can get into his rhythm and, you know, get some races under his belt, he will be very good as well. So it's good to have him. And
it's a 2-year contract with Fantic. Yeah. Probably be your last contract racing MXGP, but you never know. But if it is,
that's
what are your goals? Well, hopefully not. I want you to race as long as you can. But have you got yourself any goals you'd like to achieve within the next 2 years?
I mean, I'm always riding to win every weekend again, and as long as I feel like I'm still competitive, I'm able to get some podiums and able to get some wins, I feel like why should I stop already? I mean, I feel really good myself. I take good care of my body. I go to physio and every single week, and you know, I feel like if I don't get any big major injury, like I said, if I can still keep on and be competitive, I would love to go on. So we'll see after those 2 years. Anyway, it's good to have 2 years because it's tough times at the moment in MotoGP. And I'm in a good team with a good bike and with good people. So we'll see coming 2 years.
Perfect, thanks for your time. Here at Hawkstone International, first time racing here on a 450. I think overall a very positive day for you with 5th overall. You can be happy with that, I think.
Yeah, we'll take that. 2 5s, 5-5, Moto 1, Moto 2, that's alright. Riding was okay, starts were good. Track was heavy. We had a little bit problems with the bike, with the engine to keep it cool. So it was overheating a lot, especially in the super final. We blew the clutch and stuff, but we still finished today. Super final wasn't that good, but it doesn't matter really. But the two motors were good.
When you got out there with the front guys, you know, these are elite MXGP riders. You don't seem very intimidated. I think that's good. You seem to enjoy battling with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I like to be there with them because I feel like that's the real deal, and to be able to follow them and look at them without stressing feels nice. So also I'm learning a lot from that. Like it's a lot of new things for me with the new bike because it's a Japanese bike. It's a 450, so it's nothing like I'm used to, but it seems to suit me quite well anyway.
Yeah, and you've only done a couple of 450 races. Have you maybe surprised yourself with the speed? I mean, you beat some good guys today.
Yeah, like also the two first international Italian ones, but especially like lap times have been really good, at least those 2 races. So I'm surprised with that, and also today was solid. At least today I'd done 2 solid motos. No crashes, nothing like that. Good starts. Pretty good base for the season. I like that. And
I mean, that MX1 class was stacked today. It gives you a little idea of Argentina, but at the same time, there was still a lot of guys missing. It's going to be important to get starts in Argentina because it's so stacked out there.
Yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, at least the starts are good, so that's a positive thing.
And you've obviously been spending a lot of time in Italy with the team. How do you feel on hard pack on the bigger bike?
I like it with that as well. We can ride a lot of hardback now in Italy, so I think that's good for me. So far, we've probably been riding a bit more sand because we've been on Sardinia and then Mantova, Riola, this one. So I like to get back to some more hardback now. Yeah, it's perfect staying in Italy.
And just on MXGP, how grateful are you for this team for picking you up? I mean, it did sound like you might not even be racing MXGP this year, so you must be very grateful for them to come in. Did you have any other options to race MXGP, or was it just these guys?
I've had some options like early on, and then I was planning to do something else, and that didn't go my way. So everything ended up quite late. But we sorted this out, and so far it's been great, working very well, and I really look forward to the season.
You must be happy the other deal didn't happen then, to see how quick you are with some of these elite guys. You'd have missed it, I think.
Yeah. No, but like a privateer team, it's really nice to show that we also have the speed, we can do the starts, and already now from the beginning of the season, we didn't expect that, so positive things.
And also you've got the Italian Championship coming up. You looking forward to that one? I think that'll be good for you, because that'll mostly hard pack. That's probably the area you need to improve in a little, and it'll be nice to race against the Ducati as well that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, that's it. No, that'll be great. It's good good for me to do a national championship on the side. More racing, more information of the bike, especially on the hard pack. So I think that'll suit us pretty well.
Perfect. Thanks for Osterhagen. First pre-season race of the year, your JM Honda debut. Very, very fast. Did you expect to be so quick? And especially in that first moto battle with Andrea, it was great to watch.
The Honda is really good. I really like to race it. It's a lot of power and good to handle, so yeah, that's pretty good. Today was pretty good. A little bit too many. We tried to fix those small mistakes, but that will be better towards the season. So first race pre-season. I was actually quite surprised with myself doing the first time on the time qualifying, and as well as battling with Andrea was pretty fun. As you know, he's a really fast rider and
world champion.
Yeah, and to be battling and was staying right behind him and stuff like that was pretty cool. But fortunately, I had a small crash that set me back a little bit. But overall it was a really good pre-season race, and I'm ready for the next one.
And just to go back to last year a little bit with the Fantic, obviously you got injured, you came back. I think then in the Italian Championship you got injured. I think that was a pretty big injury. Could you tell us about that injury? And remind us of what you actually done. And I don't think you've actually been on the bike that long.
No, last year was a disaster, to be honest. I broke my femur in December in testing and winter training. And when I was on the bike again, I was really weak. I had no race pace in me and stuff like that. And then in Italian Championship I made one mistake. Kicked me off the bike and landed pretty hard on the left side, and I thought it was broken ribs, but it ended up being my milt that was split. So we needed to have a surgery on that, and that's just how 23 was, and it's behind me.
And how long have you had on the new bike, the new Honda, with your team before this race? I think it's only maybe been a month, is that right?
Yeah, no, I think it's been like almost 2 months.
Oh, okay.
But the gym session as well has been really good, and the winter training has been absolutely amazing. I'm ready to work hard and go for it.
And obviously, due to injuries, you haven't really shown your true capabilities in the MX250. When it came to deciding what to do this year, were you pushing yourself to do MX2, even though you haven't really showed what you can do in the MX250, or did you just decide what the best offer was at the end of the day?
Yeah, it was a little bit back and forth. I was really I wanted to go MX2 because I'm 19, and I know I'm still young, but for MX2 class, maybe I have I have 3 years left. So I just wanted to go as soon as possible in MX2, and Jackie came to my parents and wanted to speak. In the end, this was the best offer.
And just on Jackie Martins and having this team behind you, obviously he's helped develop a lot of riders. You've got a good base now. You must appreciate the team signing you up for this year.
Yeah, Jackie is amazing. He's as well as really good rider back in his time, and he has a lot of experience. Everybody is just like a small family, to be honest. We are having fun, we are laughing, we are joking. little kid behind me, Max, is something to watch out for. He's a fast kid. Yeah, but training is all good. Mechanics, I'm going pretty well with my mechanics as well. So.
And rookie season in MX2, what are the expectations? And especially after running with a world champion there today, they changed slightly?
I don't think I have any expectations, but for sure I'm just gonna push and do my best. To be honest, it's a lot of races, so you need to be consistent, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. So yeah.
And I think another thing is, like, you're very, very fast. Sometimes you maybe get a little bit carried away. Maybe calm down a little bit, and maybe if you're fifth, maybe take a fifth. Maybe that's the last step you need to improve on.
Yeah, for sure.
And build.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still learning a lot. Even though I know riders, they are really smart on the track, but they are learning a lot. So I just need to learn. I need to be more mature. Maybe when my body says that I cannot go faster, maybe I should like hold back a little bit, so I don't do anything stupid. But yeah, today was a little bit of that day because I had a lot of mistakes with legs off and over jumping and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. It was very fun.
And I don't think you've ever raced here before, have you?
I was here in 2019.
Okay, what's your thoughts on this track? Very iconic, very old school, sandy.
It's first race, very good track. During the day when the 450s and the more of the races went on,
destroyed it.
Yeah, they completely destroyed it, and there was a lot of kickers, and it was so deep as well today, so it got a lot of ruts. But I think it's a really good practice for upcoming GP season. So yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck for the season. Manager of KTM, this is all new for you, being a team manager. I would say it's happened quite quickly. You were only a mechanic 3 or 4 years ago to Tom VR.
Only 2
Just
years ago.
2 years ago, even quicker than I thought. Just talk me a little bit about your journey really in such a quick space of time. Did you expect to get this role so quickly?
No, never. Never, ever. I come to Europe 5 years ago to be a mechanic and to, experience Europe and work. I always wanted to work with like the best team, and I was lucky that I was working for KTM in Australia, so it's kind of everything worked out well, and I was super lucky to land with Tom and with Dirk Grubel and Vale and like a big group of people. So it's been a pretty cool journey.
Yeah, and obviously the last two team managers would have been Dirk Grubel and Antonio Crowley. Just how much were you able to learn off them through their guidance to do the role yourself?
A lot. Yeah, Dirk taught me a lot. He was a really great. Tony, as a rider, and getting to work with a guy who has 9 world championships is pretty unreal. And then also Joel Smets. Smets is like a rock for us in our team. So, between those three, and then you throw in Valentina Ragni, who's been at the races for 20 plus years. My big boss Pitt and Robert and all those people. It's a pretty cool opportunity.
At the same time though, pretty big boots to fill.
Yeah, definitely. This team comes with its own type of pressure. It's 15 MX2 championships in 20 years. So, you've got Jeffrey Herlings and Liam Everts, Andreas, returning world champ. So there's definitely a lot of pressure, but we all do a job a certain way, and we all have a process about how we do it, and it's pretty cool.
And just on Hawkstone today, 2 moto wins for Jeffrey Herlings, his first race back. I wasn't quite sure what Jeffrey Herlings would see today. Are you pleasantly surprised that he was able to win 2 out of the 3? It's just definitely a good starting point.
No, for sure. Awesome. He hasn't been on a bike that long. It was a really difficult year last year with injuries, and when you combine that with the last couple of years, it's been a really tough off season. Definitely the injuries took longer than we had planned to heal. So yeah, and a couple of hole shots, good starts. Obviously not the whole field is here, but there's February, Seewer, Glenn. There's some good.
It was fast out there.
So I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's just another little step in getting back to full speed.
And I think the very big positive, 1 hole shot, and then he was the first 450 out in the super final. That's rare for Jeffrey Herling, so keep doing that.
We haven't had a hole shot for a long time, so it'll be hopefully we can keep that going. Obviously, like I said, not the whole field is here, so but still is a good confidence booster.
And obviously Andrea Adamo had an unbelievable year last year, World Championship, a goal achieved really. What's his winter been like? Do you think he's made a step? And especially, I think he's obviously very good in hardpack. I was there in France last year in that second moto, but obviously the sand is probably the area he needs to take a little step in.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you look at the races from last year, the sand was an area where he did really well compared to when you looked at the year before. He took a step, and I think this year, you know, we've been working a lot on the bike and setting things up for him. So I hope that all that works and we can, you know, take another step. And it's going to be a tight MX2 group this year. Everybody feels like they, you know, have a piece at it. So it's going to be an interesting year.
And just on Liam, obviously it's sad about his injury. Can you give us an update on that? Do you think he'll be able to race in Spain the second round? And just before his injury, it did look like he took another step throughout the winter
Liam
as well.
Had a really good winter. He's done all the right things, and you know, we worked on some stuff that we seen last year. He had a great year last year. You know, he was fighting for second in the championship. Fortunately, he had a few difficulties at the end, but yeah, I think he took a step. You know, anytime you can have a couple of years of a year of good building, good work. It's his second year in the team, so it definitely helps. And yeah, unfortunately with his injury, we're hopeful that he's going to be back to Spain. That's the plan. We do everything we can to be there, but yeah, it's an injury. You always need to wait and see.
Last but not least, little Sasha, little crazy Coonan. What's his winter been like? He looks a little bit taller now. And has he been working maybe a little bit other than riding style to smooth out a little?
Yeah, he's definitely, I think he's made some steps and he looks much more, you know, complete. I'm not sure if he's grown so much.
Really? He looks, in the photos he looked a little bit taller.
Yeah, he does. He looks more solid. Like on the bike he doesn't look as small. Okay. So you know, if he can put it all together, the boy's fast. He's really fast. So if he can keep it on two wheels and, you know, keep building on those things that he worked on in the winter, it should be a good year. And
just on factory KTM, obviously you guys have 3 MX2 GP guys, which I think is really good. Only one in MXGP, and obviously Herlings' injuries happen, unfortunately. Not always his fault. In the future, would you maybe like to sign up to at least 2 MX2 GP guys?
Yeah, you never know what the future holds. You know, there's we have a year this year and we have a great bunch of riders, and you know, a lot of these guys we're going to have for a long time in the future. So, you know, how it all looks, I'm not sure, but we've got a really great group of riders and a great group of guys this year, so we're excited.
Perfect. And obviously this time last year, you were the different side of the fence to speak. You were preparing as a rider. Now you're a team manager of a good British team. Just how does it compare? And you must be delighted to get this role within the team. Obviously you got a bit of a taster last year after picking up the injury, which probably helped coming into this year.
Yeah, busy. That's one way to describe my weekend. But it's been good. I've really enjoyed, you know, the build-up and the organisation. But we were getting ready to race. You know, it's nice to come and get the results on the board and see where we're at in race conditions. We had a good run out at Talavera for the Spanish Championship, but it's nice to be back on British soil at such a great event this weekend at Hawkstone Park. Definitely different not riding. I think I've done 19 straight years of Hawkstone International.
Jeez.
And this will be the first time since I was 15 I haven't rode. So it's definitely different. Hectic, as I said, but still rewarding to see the guys riding as well as they did. Cass had a podium, Josh was best British rider, so yeah, on a whole we've had a successful day. Real happy with how the crew and everyone's pulled together, and we've put on a nice show here in the paddock for all the fans, and yeah, it was just nice to be back at the races.
And obviously you did make the decision to end up stepping away from racing. Obviously you stepped away from GPs a few years ago, but you've now decided to step away from the British Championship and things like that. Was that a tough decision to make, to take this role?
I think, you know, I never really knew when I would sort of retire or finish racing, but Simon offered me this role sort of middle of last year, and then just about that time I had quite a big crash at Blacksall. I was in hospital for a week, thinking about the kids and my wife, and then, you know, just kind of everything sort of fell into place to take on this role. And the last couple of years have been tricky. Definitely didn't get the results I was after in the British Championship, and you know, nobody's getting any younger, so it was starting to take a bit of a toll on the body, and I decided to take this role and new challenge and try and give back some of my experience over 20 years to the team, to the riders, and go to the races still looking for good results, not from myself, but with the two boys.
And do you still ride at the practice track with guys, or are the riding days well and truly behind you, or do you still ride and give them pointers, and do you still enjoy it and get around?
I really don't have time.
Really?
I've been so busy. I think I've rode twice in the last 6 months. And
Do you miss it?
Of course, yeah. I'd really like to get out once a week for just to enjoy myself and still enjoy riding. And I just bought my little lad who's 5 now a little PW Yamaha. So it's just, there will be time. I do want to ride still, but I'm pretty happy with the decision to step away from racing, and it's a lot less stressful, and like I said, the toll on the body's a lot easier on the side of the fence. And
just to focus on the team, obviously a big step from racing the British Championship, the full MXGPs, big on the budget as well, I'm sure, but you must be looking forward to the challenge. And obviously you've got Josh Gilbert. Was it important for the team as well to have that British rider?
Absolutely. British team, British rider was our number one goal, and we managed to get that with Josh, and he's brilliant to work with. And then working really closely with KTM, and they've sort of given us a tip on Cass and some support for him, and put a real good package together. And Cass is great to work with as well, so couldn't be happier with the two guys we ended up with. Definitely got some real potential to win a British title between them, or maybe even 2, who knows, and a real good chance in the EMX 250 class to be running near the front, and again potentially be at the front of that. And with Josh and the GPs, we'd just like to see him as close or in and around that top 10 racing the factory guys. Like you said, our budget has went up for this year, but he'll never compete with those factory guys' budgets. So it's just to be mixing it with them would be our number one goal. And just on Josh, it must be very exciting for him. I mean, throughout his career, he's rode a handful of MXGPs, also done a handful of AMA, but I don't think he's ever done a full MXGP World Championship season. So that must be keep him motivated and hungry, and see what he can do with the best riders in the world. Yeah, well, I think that was Josh's main goal, was to really have a proper crack at the MXGP Championship, and it's something he's always wanted to do. So when we offered him a deal to do it, he really, he kind of jumped at the opportunity to do that. And for us as well, with my experience in the flyaway races, it's a lot to take on, but at the same time, we're really excited about it.
And Kaz Volk, I've seen this kid a long time, since he was in the 85s, very excited about him. What's it been like working with him? I believe he's also working with Joel Smith, so that must also help, because he's helped develop a lot of young riders. And obviously he was EMX 250 last year, but it was a 2-stroke, so he's still kind of a rookie to the 4-stroke, so to speak, but he should be definitely a contender in that EMX 250 championship, I feel.
Yeah, without a doubt. Cass is only 18, but it's quite great to see that he's got a real strong head on the shoulders, and he's very dedicated. He does all his training, everything that's asked of him. Working with Joel, he's loving that, because he's been out riding with Andrea Adamo most of the days that they go out riding together, and that's brought him on as well. And he's a good kid. He's got a nice style. He doesn't hang off it too much.
Very smooth.
He's very smooth, and you don't have to sort of close your eyes when you're watching him. He's very smooth and calculated, which is great. And last question, obviously this is going to be the first full year for the team to do GPs. Long term, do you think that's the goal, to stay in the GP paddock, maybe even have more than one rider in the future, maybe have an MX2 guy as well? Yeah, I mean, we're just stepping stones, and we're trying to step it up. I think it's quite a good balance this year, with having Josh doing the full championship, and then a little bit less with Cass just doing the EMX 250 rounds. But we'll just see where it takes us. But we're definitely wanting to go and get those results and step it up. So it's definitely our goal to be around for another few years at least. We've got a 2-year deal with KTM as it is, with an option anyway. So we're not going anywhere in a hurry. Thank you for your time, Shaun. Max Werner, we're here at Hawkstone International. You were racing in India a few weeks ago. You're all around the world at the minute.
Yeah, I had stressful weeks the last few weeks. Now I'm here in Hawkstone, and I really feel actually good on the bike. The Honda's perfect. We have a good setup, and I'm happy to be here.
First motocross race with your new team, JM Honda, and on the 250. You felt very, very good out there. You must be happy with your weekend. Did you maybe even surprise yourself a little bit?
We had a good winter, I would say. We had a good preparation. So my goal was to end up in the top 5. I did it with a P4 overall. I'm happy about that. And yeah.
And on the MX250, what are the goals for this season? Obviously you're going to be a rookie, but at the same time you showed today, I think you suit the bike.
Yeah, I think we will still work on it because we are not 100% there yet where we want to be. But I think a good top 10, top 5 in the EMX is possible.
And you done the two Indian Supercross races. What was it like racing over there in that Supercross series? I'm guessing it was very different to what you're used to.
Yeah, true. I got the offer from them and I couldn't say no, I have to say. And then I went over there, was racing on a stock bike, stock suspension, everything stock. It was actually quite fun also, the new experience. But yeah, I enjoyed it also there. And in the last race I did third. Was good.
And just on the team, Jackie Martins, JM Honda, got yourself a good team there. You must be delighted to be with them and learning a lot. Jackie's helped develop a lot of talent.
Yeah, true. He picked me up when I had nothing. Then we directly started with testing the bike, making the perfect setup for me, and yeah, I can live with him, I can train with the best guys. Also with Hakon, to have him as a training partner pushes me always, and yeah, it's perfect. I couldn't be happier.
Thank you very much for your time.